Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. And I'm going to talk about how to set goals at the beginning of the month. We have an amazing comp plan, great products, and great opportunity at the best time. You know, we just begun, right? And so I think a lot of us want to take advantage of really maximizing the opportunity. That means about how to coach your team. And there's a few things that I'd like to share with you that I like to do with my team at the beginning of the month. And the goal is to maximize the benefit for everybody, right? At the end, the way I look at it is the more people you have in your team, the more people sharing about this amazing life-saving product, the more people we can help. That is the bottom line, right? And so it is important to set the goal at the beginning and communicate with each active member who wants to share the product so they know where they're heading, right? So, so the first thing I'll say, setting an expectation, because the expectation is so important. If you have the wrong expectation and then you don't get the results, you get disappointed, right? Or if you don't set an expectation, then it will be hard to get a result because you actually not even know what you're doing to achieving the results. So, and I like to start with this screen because I think the Power of 3 is the easiest way to understand and the easiest way to communicate, because we want to keep it very simple. You make it too complicated, you're not understanding each other, right? So, number one, setting goals, right? You want to talk to your active member, your new member, your leaders. What do they want to achieve this month, right? If it's a new member, right, their goal is naturally is like, do you want to achieve the first level Power 3 bonus? That means finding 3 people that would basically just do exactly what you do, which is loves the product and wants the product every single month. So that's for like a regular member who excited, who want to share, who want to start recruiting and achieving the first level of Power 3. And then for your leaders, right, then they could already be enjoying their bonus on the first level. And then you'll be asking them, okay, so do you want to run for the second level? What does it take to finish your second level? Well, there's 2 ways of doing it. One is doing all by yourself, find 9 people and fill out all those spots on second level. Some people do that. If you're a major influencer, you can recruit 50 people per month, but most people cannot. The second way, what I would recommend is to communicate with your first line members and then help them and basically coach them to find their 3, because if you help those 3 find 3, then you complete your second level, right? And then you also identify who are the one that actually stronger, who are the one that is weaker. The weaker one, you probably have to find more people yourself so you can actually directly enroll more people. You yourself as a builder should always continue to enroll new people every single month. And then with the additional people, you can have the discretion to help whoever you want anywhere in your organization, right? So to give you an example, you have someone that's really like working hard, everybody's working. At the end of the day, you have one member, they have just 1 spot left on the second level in achieving the second level, right? And so everybody has different criteria. For me, I recommend you reward based on merit, right? If you have someone working hard and then they're missing 1 spot, then that could be one of the reasons why you want to put your person or direct recruit into the second level to fill that 1 spot. That's one of the way. Another way is obviously you need to balance all 3 legs, right? You might bring in a leader directly, and you don't want to put everybody in 1 leg because there's a 50% rule, right? You don't want to have all your point coming from 1 leg because you can only take 50% point from each leg in achieving any of our rank, right? So if you look at our ranks, we have senior member, which is 1,500 point to diamond 50,000 point. If you divide by 2, if more than 50% of the point is coming from one leg, you can only take 50%. So another thing is the balancing act, right? If you're directly enrolling someone, you want to be able to balance all three. Like that's another criteria, right? And that you might just have to put them in different level with different people, right? Another thing is when you're communicating the expectation, then you know who is actually running or working this month, right? I always say expectation, understanding each other, communication is so important because you cannot force anybody to do this business. So if you're thinking about, oh, why is this person ghosting me? Why are they not responding? You're chasing after them. My response to you is stop doing that. Don't do that. If a person come in, for example, they may be sitting here, okay? Or maybe they're sitting here and they're just absolutely not responding to you, or they are just having a situation, they want to take some time off, whatever. They've already communicated to you. So you just have to plan with the fact that this person is not gonna do a thing, okay? So which is a great thing because then you're not gonna waste your time in chasing after people. That's the last thing you wanna do. You wanna communicate and find out who is actually wanting to achieve something this month and want to run. And you want to identify those 3, 5, 10 leaders and then have a tailor-made plan, set up a tailor-made plan with that person, and then encourage them to take full responsibility and their own results, right? So if I'm talking to someone here, they say, okay, I want to achieve the first level, I'm saying, okay, great. Well, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to achieve that. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't achieve that, then, well, did you do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's that kind of communication. And then by encouraging that, you are actually encouraging to work with you. And that's how you kind of mobilize your team, right? And then as your organization gets bigger, you want to communicate to your key leader, right? So for some of us, we have a bigger team. You can't do it all. You need to identify the people that are highest with the highest potentials, and depending on the personality, some people, I just have this one leader came and she's really amazing. She bring a bunch of people, and one of her key leader is about to explode, but then they are fighting with each other. So then they're not talking to each other. So I actually have to jump down and work directly with that person. So there's different personality conflict, right? You need to kind of gauge, right? And if the leaders can take care of their team, then you should really learn to delegate as well, right? Because you shouldn't be doing everything. You shouldn't be doing everything. Like you should not be the babysitter, so to speak, right? Or you shouldn't be, and another point is really just be conscious of your time, right? We always say in network marketing, I think that the 80-20 rule apply to everything. Are you spending your time in productive activity versus unproductive activity? Productive activity means that the activity will end up you bringing someone into the team, will bring you sales, business. At the end of the day, it's going to affect your financial results, right? If you are like, I mean, there's all sorts of activities that are amazing. We are really enjoying it. And I'm not saying anything like, going to endless of Zoom meetings, right? Boosting each other's posts and being a team player. Those are all great things to do, but you got to balance it, right? If you're spending like 80% of your time doing that and 20% of the time on the productive activity, then you got to be conscious that you are not going to get the result that you expected. So that goes back to the expectation. So it's very important that you identify who is working, and then leave those people who are just happy, enjoying the product, or they just want to take a break from the business alone. Because the last thing you want to do is to push anybody to do anything. So then once you know that, then you know what your game plan is. As a new person, it's very simple. You define your first 3. That is pretty simple, right? As you build a team, you also need to communicate and coach your team. So then you know what everybody's doing. So I think the goal setting is very important. When you have the goal setting, you know who is running and who is running for what, and then you can project how many people each person bringing in. Let's just say you're running for your 3rd level Power 3. You need all 39 people, 27 on the second line, on the last line, right? You already achieved the 2nd level, right? Well, then you need to know, like, well, most people cannot bring in 27 by themselves, right? So you say who is bringing how much and they projecting whatever, then you need to be realistic and set goals for yourself. Are you going to work like 10 hours a week, or are you going to work $100 at 100 hours a week, right? And there's different ways of generating leads, and you're going to have to decide whether or not you want to stretch yourself more to achieve all the 27 on the third level, or maybe you can break it in 2 months, right? So the expectation is very important. Understanding the game plan is very important. And if you work as a team, I always say the Power 3 is so simple. If everybody bring in 3, that's it. The plan would just work by itself, but it doesn't always work that way. But knowing who is doing what, then you would see how your plan is gonna kind of pan out, right? And you monitor that on a daily basis. Actually on a daily basis, right? And as you monitor, getting closer, let's just say you're closer to middle of the month, right? And that person says they want to bring in a Power 3, and they just basically did nothing, had no action. You might want to just follow up with them, like, you still want to have 3 people, or have you changed your plans? It's all about communications. Or if they still do that. So, and then you need to kind of update your plan, etc. And when you get to the last week, right, if you look at person, still have no action, you pretty much know that there's pretty much nothing's going to happen with that person, which is totally fine. Or if you have someone in your organization, you want to take a look who has already brought in 2, they just need that one person more. You might want to just, send a message, say you only need 1 more to complete that Power 3. Now, there's different way of doing it, right? So with the Power 3 bonus, I always say it's so easy. Your people, they naturally bring in 1 or 2 people, right? Look at it as a discount, right? If you bring in successfully bring in 1 person, you get 7%, right? Starting on the 2nd month. I might as well explain this part now. With the Power 3 bonus, it's always starting on the 2nd month, okay? You got to make note on that, right? So on your first month joining the business, we call it the enrollment period, which is 30 days. So basically, if you're working on this month, everybody you're enrolling this month is their enrolling period because it's their first month, right? And everybody will earn enrolling bonus, which is 25% in the first month, right? And their Power 3, their uni-level bonus starts on the 2nd month when you start doing the auto ship or any 100 PV purchase in the subsequent month, right? So if you are planning that, you got to be clear when you're running your Power 3. Let's just say you're building it, you have someone who brand new coming in the business, right? They're bringing 3 people this month, right? You got to let them know that's great job, but you will not get paid a Power 3 this month because this is your first month. But you can expect you're actually building to qualify for the Power 3 next month when all those people do their auto ship next month. So this is always something very confusing to most people. You need to really clearly express that. And vice versa, if you want to achieve your 2nd level Power 3, you don't build it on the month. If I want to achieve my 2nd level Power 3 this month, I should have those people all signed up last month so that they will be on track, like getting their auto ship set up for this month so I can get paid on my Power 3 this month. So understanding the difference between last month and this month, and then this month and planning for next month, okay? And so there's different way of enrolling, but this beyond the scope of today's discussion. So again, going back to setting goal, what you need to do, and then again, if you're confused, please reach out to your upline star 1, 2, 3 stars, diamonds and stars. I'm sure they will answer your questions. So then so you won't be disappointed, right? If you misunderstand the comp plan, right? And then you work towards your goal, okay? So, and I find this chart very easy to understand when you explain to people and where they are. So setting goals is very important. Now, the second thing that you need to know as you build your business, usually for people that have been around for a while, As you're enrolling people, each person, and I will talk about placement now. Number 2 is the placement management of your team. How do you manage it? How do you place people? I'm going to just spend some time talking about the placement. The placement is every single person that joined your organization. And I think I'm going to just start sharing an example so that you have something in front of you so we can talk about, okay? So, all right. So we have a real organization here. And so once you start enrolling, if you're enrolling 1 or 2 people or 3 people, you don't have to worry about placement issue because they will stay on your top, basically. Because when you build your organization, if you look at the comp plan, again, based on the comp plan, a training, you'll be building basically 3 teams until you're diamond director. So you don't want to like have people scatter all over the place and then not maximizing the comp plan. So you wanted to have people place in any one of your 3 team, right? So you might want to say, okay, how does the placement work, whatever. So I'm going to just share a little bit about my experience with placement. So I have an existing member here, right? So I'm just telling every single team member, especially the builder, just bring in people. I said, bring in people, don't worry about placing them. They always ask you, like, how do you say, why do you not want to place them right away? Here's why. Every single member, when they join, actually, this member actually joined just like a month ago. Tomorrow is her 1 month mark, right? So I know everybody in her organization within 30 days. So you will see under the placement suite as well, show you that. All of your directly sponsored people will show up here. And you will see that, like you can see this person, there's no days here. It tells you, it's like a ticker, right? It is reducing, right? So that means you have 30 days to place everybody. You have the enrollment date, right? And then you have their placement date, okay? And if you don't place them, I'm just gonna get out of here because there's some name information here. If you don't place a person by the 30th day, they will automatically stay on your top layer, on your level 1. Okay, and then after 30 days, might as well mention that after 30 days, you're not allowed to change a person. You have to go through a process that's almost impossible to change it. So basically, let's just say you cannot, okay? And they will just stay on your top layer forever, okay? You don't want to place people right away because let's just say, I'm just going to give you an example, right? This person here, obviously you can see it now, right? Because she did not place this person right away, you see this person is her biggest leg right now, right? And let's just take an example, for example, right? If you don't wait, you just place people as they come in, right? We're talking about this person here, right? So you have 4 people coming in and you start placing people under, so you play this person under them, then you're gonna miss the opportunity of kind of recognizing your strongest leader. Okay, so the how you place your people is, when you have more than 3, is you want to take the longest time available, up to 30 days, to place a person and decide whether or not they should stay on your top layer or second layer, because after you place your first layer, you'll be placing your second layer and so on, right? So you want to take as the maximum amount of time to observe who's actually doing something, because there are people actually coming saying that I'm going to bring a big team and basically stay there and did nothing. And I have one person exactly like that in my organization. I literally have to tell her, I'm going to have to place you on my 3rd or 4th level if you don't move, because that is, you just have to communicate. Or I'm going to give you 10 days. And if you still want the business, you can still show me that you're actually building the business. It's all about transparency. If you just want to be a customer, no problem. You just be a happy customer, right? So it's about just having the clear understanding, okay? So then by not placing people right away and but observing the ticker on the timestamp is that you get to observe who is actually doing something. So then over time, you actually see that I can tell you that in this organization, this actually happened in the last few days of my October close. Little happened, like half of those people came in the last 2 days or something, right? Then at this point, when it's getting closer, then you can clearly see if this is going to be the leader. And then you might have somebody like this one, right? You might think that, oh, these people are not doing anything. It may not be true. This person can literally overnight bring in a lot more people, right? So that, again, going back to communication, understanding their strategy, and if they're building or not, then you know who is who. Then the goal is that you will end up with the 3 strongest leader there for obvious reason. If the strongest leader, like this one here, because he is so strong, he's already building, like this one is so strong, then you know like who is they already actually be able to take care of their power 3, and they don't have to. And I'm advising this team member, like you don't even have to worry about like helping these guys. They are moving so fast. In fact, you need to learn about like balancing these two and understanding what's happening here, right? So there's all these conversation needs to happen, and balancing and how to do it. And I always say that, nobody should be coming in to expect your sponsor to give you anybody, because if you can see every one of these people waiting for somebody to put down, you don't. Most people are not really directly enrolling anybody. Your sponsor may not enroll anybody that month, or maybe 1 or 2, and that 1 or 2 person, it has to be strategically placed based on his or her needs anywhere in the organization, right? So everybody should really just get there 3, right? And then if there's something missing, for example, for these 3 people, she might put 1 person here to help out this person. It all depends on depending on circumstances, right? Or there's different way of kind of working side by side alongside with your builders. Okay, so there's all these conditions while still keeping an eye on the placement day. And I already show you the placement switches you can find over here, right? And if you miss it, it will, for someone, let's just say someone that's not doing a thing, they're mainly just like a customer type person, have no desire to bring in anybody. And if you miss the 30-day mark, this person will stay here forever. Whereas this could be a happy customer type member. You could have been strategically placed, let's just say over here, right? That will help this person complete the power 3, or maybe over here, or maybe over here, like someone that is not really a top builder, and you don't want them to put on the top, and you want to be able to place them to help someone to complete their power 3. And because why you want to do that? Because as soon as you place a person, let's say if I place a person here, everyone on this placement organization will get that $7. So at the end of the month, if this person get through an auto ship, if I place a person down here, the person above that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all these people will get the $7. If you leave them on the first level, only you gets that. So you don't want to kind of waste that, because you want it to be a team effort to motivate each other to complete their power 3 and work hard. And we want those who work the hardest and be able to maximize the comp plan. Because if you leave everybody in the first line, you get your $7, and none of the people will benefit that. Versus if you build your 3-leg and strategically placing the top or second layer of people down this way, then more people will benefit. And then if, for example, this person has a lot of potential, just happen to be busy, maybe you put 1 person there, say, hey, you only need 1 more person to complete your power 3. And then everybody in that line is happy. But maybe this person saying that, this team was already strong enough and I don't want to keep, because there's a 50% rule, then maybe this person may want to place this person over here. So then we'll encourage this person to complete the power 3 because he's already have a team here. So there's different strategy. You need to actually communicate with your upline to understand more. So this is the placement thing, okay? Now, so it's very important that you monitor your placement list and see how many days left for each person under the placement suite, okay? Not only yourself as your organization grow, you need to actually tell your leader to do that. And I double check my leader because today I almost missed one placement. It was like I was scrambling. I almost got a heart attack. Luckily, I was able to place it before it was like 10 hours left or something like that, right? And sometimes I even forgot about my own people. So I try my best to keep track of my own people. Plus, I also track of my key leaders people. And I suggest that each one of you get a notebook, and I'm going to do that. Write down by the date and who is up, right? And this so that you can actually either you place or you help your people remind them to place. And you might say, how do I find out that information if it's not my directly enrolled people? This is how you're going to find out. Like say this person is on the first level, right? And these people are not directly enrolled by this person, is enrolled by this person. One easy way to find out is to click on their little bubble here. And then you scroll down here and then you go, you look at their full profile. The easiest way I find is just click on the order. So I know this person actually just came in October 31st, have not set up their auto ship. So I know this one, we have time, right? So this one's October 31st. So you might want to write down the name and then keep a notebook together so you know that these people, it looks like at this point that this might be the top 3. You don't know who out of these 4 is going to be the top 3, and you want to continue to communicate with your leader and encourage every one of these people to get their free. If you want to remain the top, you got to understand the top spots in anybody's organization is like gold, right? Everybody want to be in the top spot for various reasons, because as your leader build, they will just you have 1/3 chance of getting additional people from your upline, right? So one of the things would be encourage whoever can get your first 3 people complete will remain in my top 3 or something like that, right? So you want to encourage and you want to communicate to see who should actually remain on the top, because you want the strongest on the top so that that person can actually bring in more people, right? Does it make sense? Because you want to just keep building the organization, right? So if you put someone like here, okay, that actually are not building, you actually wasting that spot, because you actually have to build everything from there, and you cannot possibly do it, and it's not healthy, because you should be actually building the entire organization and not just helping one team, okay? And I can tell you, I might upset some people. Again, this is my personal experience, and that's not how I build, is that we have people coming in, putting their friend, their sister, their relative here that are not builders. I stop them. I basically advise every single of my team member, do not do that. Because if you bring in someone that is just taking the spot, you're basically building that entire leg yourself. And then the way you build your organization is it's gonna be very challenging. Your top spots should always be reserved for top builder, especially until you reach diamond director. You should not consider doing anything like that. In fact, if you have a mother or a sister that just loves the product, but she's obviously not gonna build, I would actually put my sister on the second or even on the 3rd level, because they still contribute to the Power 3. They help one of my builder, and that person is not building. And I don't have to worry about her because she's not building, right? But if I put her as the top here and she's not bringing a single person, and then it's going to disrupt my entire Power 3. And then if I bring in the builder here, if she's not building here, it's going to affect this person's Power 3 because she's not bringing anybody to build the organization. So it's actually very counterproductive to bring in someone that is actually not a builder, but a relative or best friend doing nothing here. So I hope this is understood. So I advise against putting anybody that's not doing anything here, because you're just killing your organization, and you're forcing yourself to basically you are building this line, and that means you're not building the rest of the team. So that's very, very unhealthy, and then it's very basically you're basically doing it all here, right? So I strongly discourage that. Okay, so so the placement is very important. Okay, if you're not tracking it, then these people remain there forever, and then these people remain there forever, and then you wonder why nobody's getting their power free bonus, because no one is tracking the thing. That's why it's very important to set goal and then track and then monitor, and then so everybody can meet. So if you do this correctly at the end of each month, most of the people should be placed, or you know where they are, right? Then they're not being wasted, right? So there's a strategy to really do that. Like another thing is, let's just say if I bring in someone here, it actually happened to me, that off the bat I know the leader, she brought in a few people, move up very quick. Let's just say this person here, right? And I know this person came in like it's the only one day left I have to place this person, right? And based on the understanding that I know this one should not be staying on the top, I might just decide to put this person under here, right? So there are these calls that you need to understand who's who, and then you might have to place someone earlier than the expiry date in order to place someone that's expiring, like kind of the 30 days up into a lower position. So you need to kind of consider all that, and you want to make sure everybody is being placed in the right spot so that they're not given unnecessary stress. I give you another example. I communicated with one of my leader, okay? Not this one, but I'm just giving you an example here, okay? And basically the communication was that I'm in no rush. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I don't want any stress at all. So I may not do a thing this month. And that's fine. So you want to know that, okay, let's understand this is what you want. And then you have to make a decision to whether or not you need to support these people, because these people may want to build and do something, even though their leader is like taking a break. It could be a life circumstances that need to take a break, whatever. So you need to decide if you want to jump down here to support the people in this organization. So there's a lot of these kind of dynamics as you build, and I think don't try to understand everything. And people usually come in, they say, I want to understand everything, May, before I do anything. I said, there's no such a thing, because, well, first of all, you came in and you have nothing, right? You can't really learn unless you do it. You learn by experience, right? It's like a baby telling you they want to rule the world. They haven't even know how to walk, right? So you actually have to do both at the same time. You got to bring in people, just like I told, this is a new leader just came in like 1 month ago, exactly that 1 month minus 1 day ago. And she basically is, I don't know, I'm just going to follow. She's bringing the people, and basically she has an organization built and she doesn't even know what she's doing. That is the best scenario you want to be in. And then you actually, then I have the raw materials to actually guide her through, explain to her how she should do this, because you actually have a case there. And this is something that is relevant. That is exactly. So this person actually, I am actually coaching her to run for diamond. There's no reason why you should not be a diamond if you want to. Only if you don't want to, right? If you want to, this person can be a diamond, or you can be a diamond, right? So again, it's about setting goal. Maybe this person, maybe they don't reach diamond, they might reach 3-star. It's still good, right? And then if this person reached 3-star, and then she should not be not reaching 3-star, unless she decide to do nothing and then let that, and let this organization go more than 50%. So there's these things that you need to understand, communicate, monitor, and then you need to also guide your people, because a lot of people are actually clueless. They're clueless about a comp plan. They don't understand placement. They don't understand a whole lot. And so you need to step up as a leader initially to do a little bit more. And as you do, you need to train your leader. And hopefully when the leader know what they're doing, then you don't have to do as much and you can actually build more. After you become a diamond director, you can build other legs and etc. So that's on the placement side. What else do I need to talk about? I think that's it. Actually, Michelle, do you mind unmuting yourself? Is there anything that I should cover that I forget?
Someone has a question about the 50% rule. Maybe you can talk about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. So basically, if you look at this organization, right? If you click on this box, you will see. We're still very early on in now, because it's only beginning of the month. So this total team volume is 700, okay? If you click on this bubble, this team has no volume this month, okay? And then this team has 0. So basically, all her volume this month is coming from this team, okay? So if this month continue, this team will continue to grow. 100% of the volume will come from this team because it's 700 and then 700 here, right? And this, I'm going to give you an example. If this person decide to go for 1 star, 1 star is 5,000 point, right? And if there's and if there's no point or very little point coming from all the other sources, she can only become a 1 star if all the production from all the other sources are more than 2,500. So she can only take half the point from this team for any rank advancement. If she want to rank to 2 star, which is 10,000 points, she can only take 5,000 points from this team. So, and you can monitor by basically clicking at the head of the organization. You'll see the group volume. Does that answer your question? So that means you have to build outside, you have to monitor and you have to actually build, you have to balance your leg, okay? So that not everybody is in the same leg. And in fact, when you're in a situation like that, and I'm basically telling my leader, there is nothing you need to do here. This person knows they're doing, and you make sure you build another team. It could be this team. It could be this team. It could be go and find a new team. It could be finding out about these people are they building, is basically to build another second team, the same size or bigger, basically. Hope that answered your question. Any other questions?
I think that's it. There's no other question.
All right. So I'm going to stop recording now.